Have you ever gone for a walk only to feel like you were just going through the motions? Almost as if your body was moving, but your mind was somewhere else? Imagine if every step you took could not only keep you strong, but also bring you more peace, more joy, and a deeper connection to yourself. Today, I'm going to show you how. And trust me, once you feel it, you'll wish you started years ago. Hi, I'm glad you're here. Because if you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, you've probably noticed that staying active feels different than it used to. It's not just about keeping your muscles strong anymore. It's about feeling whole, body, mind, and spirit. That's where mindful movement comes in. It's not a fancy workout, and you don't need to be flexible like a yoga instructor. Mindful movement is about tuning in, bringing awareness to how your body moves, how you breathe, and even how you feel emotionally while you move. In this video, we're going to explore how you can transform something as simple as walking into a practice that builds strength, balance, and a sense of calm. By the end, you'll know the small changes you can make to turn your everyday steps into something truly powerful. We'll go through several simple techniques, no special equipment, no gym memberships, just you, your body, and a little awareness. Let's start with the first one. Point 1. Slow down to tune in. The first mindful movement shift is to slow down. Just a little. I know, it sounds strange. We're often told to walk faster to get more exercise, but when you slow your pace slightly, you give your body and mind the space to notice what's really happening. Next time you walk, pay attention to how your feet make contact with the ground. Do you land on your heel or do you step flat? How's your posture? Are your shoulders up near your ears, or are they relaxed? I once worked with a 68-year-old woman named Ellen. She walked every day, but she was always in a hurry, even on her morning stroll. When she started slowing down just enough to notice her steps, she realized her right foot was turning out slightly. Over time, she adjusted her gait, eased the strain on her hip, and even noticed her knee pain reduced. Here's a little challenge for you. On your next walk, spend the first 2 minutes walking slower than usual, just so you can notice your body. Then, comment below and tell me, what's the first thing you became aware of? Point 2. Connect breath and step. The second shift is to link your breathing with your walking rhythm. This helps oxygen flow better, reduces tension, and calms your mind. Try this. As you take 2 steps, breathe in through your nose. Then, over the next 2 steps, exhale through your mouth. If that feels too quick, try 3 steps per breath. I had a 72-year-old gentleman, Robert, who swore he couldn't focus during walks. His mind was always racing with worries. When he started matching breath to steps, he told me it was like flipping a switch. His thoughts slowed down, his shoulders dropped, and he actually looked forward to his walks instead of seeing them as just exercise. So, give it a try. Next time you're walking, sync your breath with your steps for just a few minutes. You might be surprised how quickly your mind calms. So far, we've talked about slowing down to tune in and connecting your breath to your steps. 2 simple shifts that can completely change how you feel during and after a walk. But we're just getting started. In the next part, we'll talk about how to use your senses to deepen your connection to the moment, and a powerful way to boost balance while you walk, something that can help prevent falls and keep you moving confidently for years to come. In part 1, we slowed things down and learned how to connect our breath with our steps. 2 small shifts that can make your walks feel calmer, lighter, and more enjoyable. Now, let's take things a step further, literally, by bringing your senses into play and building strength in ways you might not have thought possible while walking. Point 3. Engage all your senses. One of the most powerful ways to make your walks more mindful is to open up all your senses. As you walk, notice what you see, the colors of the trees, the way the light changes on the sidewalk, the tiny details you might normally overlook. But don't stop there. What can you hear? The rustle of leaves, the distant hum of traffic, or maybe even the sound of your own footsteps. What about smells? Fresh cut grass, blooming flowers, or even the earthy scent after rain. Why does this matter? Because it pulls your attention into right now. When you focus on your senses, your mind stops wandering into yesterday's worries or tomorrow's plans. I remember walking with a 70-year-old man named Harold who had lost interest in his daily walks. He told me, "It's just the same route every day, nothing new." I asked him to choose one sense to focus on each day. On sound day, he noticed the rhythm of birds chirping. On sight day, he spotted a little patch of wildflowers he'd never seen before, even though he'd passed them for years. That little change brought the joy back into his walks. If you're watching this, I'd love to know, what's one thing you've noticed on a walk lately that made you smile? Share it in the comments so we can all enjoy those little moments together. Point 4. Balance boosting steps. Now, let's talk about balance. As we age, our balance can start to fade without us even realizing it, until a stumble or near fall wakes us up to the fact. But here's the good news. You can improve balance while you walk without adding extra time to your day. One easy way is to add short balance challenges to your walk. For example, every few minutes, try walking heel to toe for about 10 steps, just like you're walking on a tightrope. Keep your eyes forward, not down, and engage your core muscles. Another method is to shift your focus to uneven terrain, grass, gravel, or even a gentle slope. Just be sure it's safe. This makes your muscles work a little harder to stabilize you, which helps improve strength in your ankles and legs. I worked with a 66-year-old named Patricia who had been avoiding certain sidewalks because they felt uneven. Once she started practicing heel-to-toe walking on flat ground, she felt more stable and confident. Within a month, she told me she could walk on those uneven sidewalks without holding her breath in fear. These little challenges add up, and the more your body practices balance in a safe way, the better it gets at preventing falls before they happen. So now, you're not just walking, you're tuning into your senses and training your balance at the same time. But we still have one more layer to add, something that ties it all together and helps you finish every walk feeling lighter in your mind and stronger in your spirit. In Part 3, we'll explore how to use simple reflection during and after your walk to turn it into a daily reset for your mood and outlook. And I'll share a personal story that proves you're never too old to start. So far, we've slowed our steps to tune in, matched our breath to our movement, opened our senses, and even added little balance boosters to keep us steady on our feet. These changes may feel small on their own, but together, they're transforming your walks into something much more powerful. Now, let's bring it all together with a final step that turns your walks into a daily source of renewal. Mindful walking doesn't end with your last step. In fact, one of the most rewarding parts comes when you use those last few minutes. or even the moments right after your walk to reflect. Reflection doesn't have to be deep or complicated. It could be as simple as asking yourself, how does my body feel right now? What am I grateful for in this moment? Or even, what's one thing I noticed today that made me smile? I remember a woman named Joyce, 74, who started doing this at the end of her evening walks. At first, she said her mind went straight to little aches and pains. But over time, she began to notice her breathing was easier, her mood was lighter, and she was sleeping better. That small pause for reflection became her favorite part of the day, her personal reset button. You might be surprised how this simple habit changes your outlook. Instead of thinking of your walk as something to check off the list, you start to see it as a moment you actually look forward to, a gift you give yourself. Here's the real beauty of mindful movement. It doesn't stop when your walk ends. If you've been paying attention to your breath, your balance, and your senses, you've actually been training your brain to stay present, and that presence can spill over into the rest of your day. You might find yourself standing taller while making tea, feeling more patient when chatting with a friend, or even noticing details you've overlooked at home, like the way sunlight hits the kitchen counter in the morning. One 69-year-old viewer once told me she started adding mindful movement to her short trips to the mailbox. She thought it was too little to make a difference, but after a month, she said she felt calmer throughout the day, simply because those mindful minutes were reminding her to slow down and enjoy the moment. So, here's the takeaway. You don't need hours of exercise, expensive equipment, or a new fitness routine to feel whole and vibrant. You just need to bring awareness into the movements you're already making. Walking is the perfect place to start. And with these small changes, it becomes so much more than just putting one foot in front of the other. You're never too old to start, and it's never too late to feel better than you do today. Every mindful step is a step toward strength, balance, peace, and joy. If today's video gave you even one new idea to try, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's the first mindful walking tip you're going to start with? Share your answer. Your story might inspire someone else to take their first mindful step. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss more tips to help you stay active, steady, and full of life, no matter your age. Here's to walking with purpose, moving with joy, and living with wholeness. I'll see you on the next walk.